Do you want to answer first?
I'll go first. I was born in England. I was born local, so Whittington Hospital was where I was born. Grown up in the area as well, actually. Always been in N19. Grew up on Hazelville Road, which is Elthorn. Which is pretty local to Brad, isn't it?
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, it's pretty much the same. London boy, born in Whittington as well. Live 5 minutes up the road from James, Sunnyside Road. Lived there majority of my life. So yeah, it was, fun growing up there.
Right, one thing we got, this James stuff needs to stop. I don't know where you got this from, but it needs to stop.
No problem.
Cheers, mate.
Comes.
Anyway, what's your heritage? Where were your parents and your grandparents born?
Go on, you go first.
No worries.
You
No,
got-
my grandparents on my dad's side are from Montserrat, and my mum's side they're from St Lucia.
Okay.
So Montserrat and St Lucia for me.
So for me, the story's a little bit funny actually, because born in England, mum's side's English, dad's side St Lucian. So Brad's asked me, "What? Can't you play for Montserrat?" I was like, "No, I'm not from Montserrat. I'm from St Lucia." Then
Told him to
a
ask.
little while down the line, I see these lot playing, and I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, "Yeah, Woodsy and them lot are playing for Montserrat." He's like, "Why don't you play?" I'm like, "Because I'm not from there." He goes, "Yeah, but your granddad was born in Montserrat." I'm like, "No." I was like, "So a whole year ago, I could have been playing in the tournaments." So obviously, I messaged Brad. I was like, "Oh, you got to get me on that. Get me involved. I can play." And then from there, we've gone.
That was it.
Wow. So my thing that I wanted to ask is, what are your memories of growing up in terms of football? Like, what was it like for you growing up with football? Was it like a thing that you started playing from an early age, or did you pick onto it later? What was your connection to football from an early age?
Well, for me, it was just playing through school, enjoying it. Well, when it first started, it was just watching my dad play for his pub team, really. Having a kick about, messing about. Then I got involved in school, just little after school clubs. They said, "Do you want to come down and play for a local team?" Which didn't happen to be a local team. It was all the way in East London. So I was playing there, and then my dad had a contact to go and play in Barnet for Whetstone, and we had a really strong team there. About 4 or 5 players went on to play for academies. At the age of about 15, I went on to play for Crystal Palace, and had a good few years there, 3 or 4 years, which was really good, playing at a good level. Played against some really good players, played with some really good players. Obviously, sometimes things don't work out. Left there, had a couple of opportunities that come up, and then I tore my hamstring. So from there, I was like trying to get fit. It just wasn't working. I couldn't get fit, and I was at a stage where I was kind of throwing in the towel a little bit. I was like, I can't keep doing this, going to teams, not feeling at my best. So I'm like, I know I'm seeing players that I think I could be doing better than you, but my hamstring's not working for me. Took time out, had to go to rehab at Lillyshaw, and I was just chilling. And then this guy grabbed me. He goes, "Oh,
Back to the rescue."
Are you playing?" I said, "Nah." He's gone, "Right, you're coming with me." And that's where the first time me, him, and another boy that plays for Montserrat, Dean Mason, we all played together at Canvey Island. Had some good games together, and off the back of that, just grew and grew. But yourself, I know you've got a bit of history growing up.
Well, started out loving football, just playing in the area. Loved goals, loved Wembley, just loved it really more than anything. Started playing for a few local teams. Wanted to be a goalkeeper at first, funnily enough, but
And then they said you was too short.
yeah, wasn't meant to be. So they started chucking me up front because I had a hammer of a foot. And played a few games and then got scouted to go and play for Chelsea. And then was there for a few years as a schoolboy. Ended up leaving due to a few personal problems. And then ended up at Wickham for a bit, Barnet after that. I had a few good years knocking about playing football for some decent clubs, and then bounced around non-league all over the place really. And eventually this opportunity came around, and gratefully I had comms with me and a few of the other boys.
So wait, you didn't take the opportunity to throw in that you was top goal scorer in the league, got your team promoted and that?
Nah, I don't really want to say all of that, but
Okay.
no.
That's the first I've heard that because normally I hear it all the time. So
Yeah, well, you know, you can't talk about everything.
not always. Yeah.
Got a few promotions, like, you know,
As you do.
yourself. Huh?
As you do.
There you go.
Alright, so obviously both of you started off being part of academies and being in the professional setup. I want to ask you two questions. What was it like knowing that you unfortunately had to come out of that setup, but I'm sure that coming out of that setup, it's made you grow stronger and become an even better person, I probably think, out of what you have to endure as a semi-professional, bouncing around between semi-professional and professional?
I think it was always difficult once you started dropping into non-league because your expectations was so high, but it helped me to grow, definitely, and it definitely made me a more knowledgeable and better player, going straight into men's football at such a pretty young age, to get that experience under my belt. And if I had the head on me now,
Yeah.
back then, with a bit more guidance, possibly things could have been a bit different right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with quite a lot of what you said. Obviously, for me, I went from being involved in the first team at Crystal Palace, playing a few games, to then them going into administration, me not getting another deal. My deal was had finished. They was like, we're going to let you go. So, but me being me, I was like, all right, cool, you know what? I'm going to take what I've learned on board, and I feel I could go and push on and get some first team games in another team, whether it's in League One, League Two.
Mm-hmm.
So as upset as I was like, right, showcase yourself, go elsewhere. And like I said, unfortunately I got that injury, but going past all that, skip forward a few years, playing in non-league, obviously it is hard because you go from training during the day,
Yeah.
having the rest of the time to yourself to even develop yourself more. So say you finish training, you can go and do extra training, you could go gym, sometimes you go home and chill, you're resting. Then you go from there to non-league and it's like, right, money's completely different. You then need another career to support that, because obviously you're not going to make enough money from playing semi-professional football to just live off that. So then you might be up at 6 o'clock in the morning grafting all day, then it's like, right, off to training.
Yeah.
So then sometimes it's just hard to like, oh, you've been up all day. So then again,
G yourself up.
perform your best. Even like you got Tuesday games. So like for instance, yesterday I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning in the gym, had an evening game. So that is hard, but like Woodsy said, in terms of the brain and what it's given me, I've always said to players, like, make the most of it, grab the opportunity, because
Definitely.
if I knew now what I knew then, I'd grasp it with two hands rather than taking it with one, and with this hand probably taking advantage of it a little bit.
Yes.
Thinking it was there forever, I could jump on and jump off the boat whenever I wanted to. So
I definitely agree with that.
So yeah, I agree. You got to take every opportunity. Make sure, because what one of my coaches actually said, he had an interview the other day, and he said there's always someone just a little bit behind you that is going to be working hard. So as soon as you drop off, that's when people start to excel and go past you. So you've always got to make sure you're working your hardest to keep the competition away and to help yourself go further, which is what I massively agree with that.
Definitely. I also think that for anybody that does drop down into non-league and then to stay playing in non-league at a decent level for a number of years takes a lot of dedication and a lot of drive and a lot of love for football, because like he said, going to work and then travelling half the way across the country on some nights to play games. You might be travelling to a churro on a Wednesday night.
Oh yeah.
And I went to Newport one time on a Wednesday night.
It's funny you said that.
Day.
Smudge went Truro on a Tuesday, got back at 4, got straight in his car, drove to Wood Green, slept in his car for half an hour, and then had to go and open the gym.
See? And this is the dedication that it takes to play at a decent level.
Sometimes
in
it can be
non-league.
mad. Like I've seen some amazing players that have maybe for various reasons not made it, gone to non-league, and then all of a sudden they're not playing as well as they can play, and it just comes down to various reasons. They're like, maybe they're having to work hard and they can't perform, having to work hard and then go training. They're not enjoying evening training consistency. So it's a real mental battle as well.
But also, you got to understand that, let's be honest, playing in non-league is harder than playing in the league. Your upstairs has to work a lot faster playing in the league. But what they want from you when you're playing in non-league, and the way how the football system is set up down there compared to how it's structured playing in the league, is totally different. It's organisation, using your upstairs, understanding the game, playing up there. Yeah, so you've got to be switched on at all times when you're playing up there, because one bad touch can cost you and people will remember it. Playing in non-league, they want you to run, dig in, show me some desire. In the league, you can get a knock. You might, rest him. Non-league, they're paying you a certain amount of money. Whatever knocks you got, they want you back out on that field.
Yeah, but it can be hard as well, because like for myself, luckily on a contract, whatever, there's some players that you're paid per game and stuff like that. So you're thinking, right, if you say that I'm 75% fit and you're not playing, you're missing out on 2 weeks' money. That might be your rent money or whatever. So little things like that, you see people, you say, like, they don't quite look right. Sometimes that's why, because they're having to play when they're not fully fit, because they're like, I can't afford to let that money go. Yeah. Which it is sad. It can be sad, but you just got to do the best you can do. So luckily for myself, I've been able to progress and work my way back up, and now I'm playing at a decent level, enjoying my football.
Should be playing higher. Definitely should.
This won't be the case for you because of the whole St. Lucian situation.
Yeah.
But do you, coming from your grandparents, do you remember having any remember any being around any particular cultural events or anything to do with Montserrat culture, or just little things that they did that reminded you of Montserrat?
Well, when I was about 5, I was in Montserrat, and I kind of remember it slightly, but so much has gone on that it's not predominant memory in my mind. But I just remember I've seen pictures of me just on the beach, climbing trees, picking mangoes, running around with a cutlass, chasing chickens, all sorts of nonsense. So it's just the typical kind of Caribbean culture, but it's always good fun and good jokes and laughs.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, you get the cultures, like when I'm at my dad's and at my nan and granddad's, you get that kind of culture feel. Just the ornaments are different in the house, and stuff like that. Just the house, the feel's different. The parties are always different, and you get loads of people coming, loads of family. Like relatives like that you've never seen
before.
Like, oh, that's your second cousin.
And you're like, who?
All 20 years gone, and I've never even heard of this person. But yeah, in terms of that, Montserrat probably came up, but obviously I was probably too young to even realise what it was, who was from there. The memory that I had was obviously my granddad and my nan always used to go back to St. Lucia for like a month every year, spend a month there, maybe more. The reason for that was obviously because my granddad had then moved from Montserrat and lived in St. Lucia for a little while before they both come to England. So that was how that come about probably, and I just thought, oh yeah, they're both from St. Lucia. Probably being a bit ignorant, to be honest, not digging down in the family history.
This just came to my mind. I'm just saying this simply because St. Lucia, où parle patois?
Sakafet, garçon!
Can you speak?
Nope.
No chance.
That one went way over there, bounced off the wall.
That's the case for most people, man.
I've got little bits and pieces, but it's not like,
Yeah,
little bits and pieces. I know the bad words because my nanny always used to cuss me.
Yeah, I remember Nan and Granddad talking the patois, and I used to be like, what's that? Like, never heard that. Oh, it's broken French, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so now this is where we kind of get to like the Montserrat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just want to take you back, because normally when they say, when you get a call up and you ask them the question, it's normally, yeah, they gave me a call and I went over and did it. But I really want you to think about, do you, that moment, like, you remember when they made that connection, or however the link was made, how did it happen?
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm not sure if you spoke about it before, but you might as well go first, because
You made
All
your
right.
debut in 2012.
Yeah. I actually was going to go and play for St. Lucia. Someone called me and asked me if I fancied playing for them. And I said, yeah, I'll come up to the training camp. They was having one in England at Leeds' training ground. And I had a game and we was playing Dagenham and Redbridge. And my mate Dean was Mason. He was like, oh, I've got a guy coming to watch our game. He's international manager of Montserrat. So we're driving in on the way, and I'm like, Montserrat? You're not from Montserrat. I'm from Montserrat. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm going to tell the guy. So the guy was there. We didn't get to see him before the game. But after the game, Dean's talking to him and he's like, yeah, we're going to have another little training session next week. Come down. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm from Montserrat. He's like, yeah, you come down as well. I said, perfect. So we went down, done a training session, then we played like a little trial game. And yeah, about 2-3 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we want you to come and play in the Caribbean Cup for us. And I was like buzzing. I was just like, yeah, love it. Because at the end of the day, playing for your country is a thing of pride. And it doesn't matter what standard or what ranking your country has. People might think that Montserrat's got a low ranking, so they're not good. But playing for Montserrat counts just as much as it does for playing for England. And it might not be respected in this country, in the football society over here, but respect it.
do you know what's funny saying that? Like, what makes it even more beautiful is the difference you can see it making. So for us, I think we was like second from bottom in the whole world ranking when we started, and over time we put together some real good results. Obviously when I first played, so that was going off the back of seeing these guys playing, and I was like, oh, like, where are you playing? Like, in the Caribbean, like, what's going on? Playing for Montserrat, can you play? I was like, how can I play? I'm not from Montserrat. And it was only having a conversation with my dad saying like, oh yeah, these lot are out there playing, and he's like, why don't you go and play? I was like, Dad, come on, I can't play for Montserrat, I'm not from there. And he's gone to me, your granddad was born there. I was like, no way. He was like, yeah. Straight away I messaged Woodsy, I was like, my granddad was born in Montserrat, get me out there. And it just so happened that this was in the build up to a World Cup qualifier, and there was a training camp at St. George's maybe a month after I had said that I could play. So he said, yeah, bring as many people as you can, like, come down, bring anyone, if you know anyone that's a decent standard that's from Montserrat, bring them, because we're looking for players. So we've gone to the training camp, and I was like, wow, the standard's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And that was 4 or 5 years ago, and we've only improved now. But the big shame is when we first went and played in the World Cup qualifier against Curacao.
Yeah.
We had literally been training together for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, didn't know each other that well. Thrown together, we lost 2-1 away at Curacao.
That's a great result.
Great result. The world was shocked at that.
It still should have been better.
Funnily
the
enough,
decisions went against us.
The decisions went against us because the guy double kicked the penalty, which made it 2-1. It should not have been a goal. If you watch the video, I'll send you the link. He double kicks the penalty.
Not only that, there were just a few iffy decisions. Like, the defender slipped over pretty much on the edge of the box, going through. One of our players is about to go through, and he's just grabbed the ball with his hand, and he got a booking. And just little things like that didn't go for us. But you know what? We shook it off. Went again in Montserrat.
Mm-hmm.
I think they scored first, actually.
Yeah.
Then we brought it back to 2-1. So 2-1 at their place, 2-1 to us at our place. So it's 3-3 on aggregate. And it's just end to end now. But we're on top. We've just gone in front. They're shocked. we've had a couple of chances, couple decent chances, and it's small margins.
Small margins.
We've missed our chance on the counter attack. They've gone through, scored 2-2. We've got to score 2 goals to go through now, and just didn't have enough in the tank. But you go off that performance. Curacao, who's got some really good, talented players.
Oh, some very strong players. And at the time, Kluivert was their manager,
Yeah.
who brought in a load of Dutch players.
Yeah. So we've gone off the back of that to them thinking we can actually go places now. Like they're a strong team. Like whoever we come up against, we're feeling ourselves. We fancy ourselves to go and win some matches now. And with the whole way FIFA was set up at the time, obviously the corruption, we don't really know what's gone on, but
Yeah.
there wasn't really much opportunities for us, and especially with Montserrat, they don't quite have the funding to be able to just throw money about and put a game on here, put a game on there, fly everyone out. So for about 2 years,
Yeah.
maybe 2.5 years, there was a whole stalemate, nothing, dead in the water, no communication.
But we did keep our Montserrat group together.
The
football group
the
stayed
football
together.
group stayed together for the whole 2 years.
And we was just-
met up. All the boys met up. We stayed together. Obviously, it was hard. You've got the few of the boys that play up north, but everyone tried to do what they can to keep together. Like we go play like a bit of top golf together, go for food, whatever we can. Obviously, it helps for us lot.
Yeah.
We've known each other before. We're local boys, so we meet up anyway. But then all of a sudden, changes in FIFA. Nations League comes about,
Buzzing.
and word on the grapevine.
Yeah.
The boys are getting back together.
That was it.
So
It was.
but everyone didn't want to get their hopes up.
Yeah,
So
we
everyone's
didn't.
thinking,
Nah.
whatever. Until there's official email or something saying like, listen, the band's back.
Everyone's perked up.
Saying like, yeah, hopefully, but not getting too excited. And then all of a sudden, it's like, right, we've got a new manager.
Yeah.
We've got training happening. It's happening. So we're going
It's
training
happening.
in off season.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, when's training gonna be? It's gonna be on a Sunday. It's like
Bloody hell.
we've just started pre-season, so we're training Tuesday, Thursday,
Saturday
Saturday,
games,
and
Sunday.
then we're going after Saturday. Sometimes having a game, we're going to Montserrat to train together for the Sunday. You've got us, and it was mutual ground, so it's like Cambridge.
Yeah.
So you've got the Midlands boys coming down from Cambridge, us going up.
Up. It was a bit.
But it's paid off because then, 3 games later now in the group stages, and we're doing really well. So.
Gold Cup. Yeah, people didn't think that we would be in the position we're in now. And a lot of people underestimated us.
And
And what I will say is this. The actual quality of players that we can get together is absolutely ridiculous. But I'm grateful for the ones that have stepped up, the professional boys, the boys that are playing, it's classed as non-league, but playing in the conference prem, they're still classed as professionals to me. And the boys that are playing in the National League South and even below, the dedication and drive that all of these boys that we've got together right now have shown to get us to where we are, so that people are taking notice. We was in World Soccer Magazine in January.
But that's what I'm
People are
saying.
taking
That's what
notice.
I'm saying. So that's what my point originally was heading towards, is the fact of us playing and doing well is actually making a big difference to
the island.
to the island. It's not even just about benefiting us ourselves. It's like it's giving the country Montserrat
Yes.
exposure.
Funding.
It's giving them funding.
They're building a new hotel.
Ability to do stuff. So off the back of like our World Cup performance, they was able to build, like, fix up the whole complex. So if you come to our ground, say our home ground where we play our matches, 5 years ago it was just literally a pitch and a stand. Now there's developments going on the whole other side to build a whole big complex and just that, and then you see just people on the island buzzing about the game, getting excited.
Yeah, they
so
come out and
friendly.
support
Like they'll
us,
pick
man.
you up. They go, "Oh, you got a game? How do you think you're gonna get on in the game? Oh, where you going?" And we're like, "Oh, we're just going down the hill." Like they're like, "Jump in."
Yeah,
You don't get that in England. Like you're walking, it could be
Someone-
raining, getting so
No one's not gonna pull up and say to you, "Where you going?" And then get in.
over there.
That's
It's
it.
just like, oh, what, you're just literally going down the hill. Yeah, it's a 15-minute walk, but come, jump in, we'll drop you down, and just things like that. The community and what you see you're doing for the community, and like I said, we started second from bottom in the world ranking table.
Yeah.
We're now up to like 160, 165 around that region.
Mhm.
So if we can carry on progressing and doing what we're doing, the difference that we can make, not just to our own lives and ourselves and as a team,
For everybody
but
else
for everybody on that
and the
island,
next generation to
and
come.
exactly, even the next. So what we're doing, and now we're seeing the youth teams being able to train on that complex.
Yeah. And
Because we've helped the funding and seeing the youth train on there, it makes you feel good. It does make you feel good. It makes you feel like what you're doing is actually just not just making a difference to yourself. Oh yeah, I've gone and played in the Caribbean. I've got a few days in the Caribbean. It's actually, you see that you are giving back to the nation that your grandparents were born.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have this conversation all the time, and
Let me go first.
You can go first, but I'm just going to lead you up to that.
Go
Obviously, your point of view, sometimes we'll be like, oh, this is a little bit unorganized, whatever. And then the boys that was there from original, so like Woodsy and Alex Dyer, Dean Mason, they go, listen, you know nothing.
Not a thing.
So I'll let you crack on.
Well, as he said, they know nothing. Because when I started out from Montserrat, it was literally organisation zero. Like, we basically had helpers that was just trying to help, but had no insight as to what the hell was going on.
Them situations where they're trying to help, but them just making it longer because they don't actually know how to help.
They don't even know how to help. And it's like, we're talking like, we leave London 9-10 o'clock in the morning. We reach to Antigua. Yeah. And then we was travelling on to like, I think Martinique or somewhere. Yeah. But yet we're sitting down in the airport for like 7 hours. Then we get to Martinique. We're waiting about 2 hours for transport to the hotel.
Yeah.
And we get to the hotel. Food was meant to be put on. Food's not put on. It's like, do you know how long the travelling? We'd basically been up for 24 hours. So.
And as you know yourself, going to the Caribbean anyway, the travel,
as you know, it's not easy.
With everything being perfect, the traveling's still long.
Still. So, and you know, everybody in the Caribbean, they're relaxed about things. Oh man, don't worry, man.
Time's not an
we'll
issue.
Sort it out, man. Just everything I get sorted out. What do you want? I want to get in bed. How long are we going to be travelling for? But it's when we do go now, and I hear some of the boys complaining, I'm like, I'm just sitting back like, what are you complaining about? What, an hour's delay? Like, this is luxurious for me. Like, everything's spot on. Plane times, travel times.
Yeah.
Get off. You know where you're going. Food's there. What more can you ask for? Hotels are lovely now, compared to some of the hotels that Alex Dyer and the boys before me stayed in, and the stories that I've heard about their encounters at first.
Yeah.
It's so much better. We're so positive, but
do you know what it is? That's what I mean. Sometimes you take for granted of like what you've done and some of the travels that you've had, and you're like, yeah, it should be like this, it should be like that. Again, it's just a bit like the situation of going from playing full time,
yes,
to going to non-league. It's like,
exactly,
it's not run the same, because you're playing for a pro team. You might have 2 people to do that job, 2 people to do that job, 3 people to do that. You might have someone just to collect the balls.
Yeah.
To do this, to do that. Now, then you go into the next situation, and it's like, right, you've got one person trying to do 3 jobs, another person trying to do like the other few little nitty gritty jobs, and it's like, you're like, oh, this should be done, but then you don't really know the stresses that people are under and what they're doing, and so now we just sit back, and it's so much better. This as you get along, but they're learning as well because realistically, from them, they might have only probably had to fly two English boys over at the start. Now you've got a full squad of English boys coming over, the boys from England coming over, and when it first happened, they probably didn't really realise where they're coming from. So they're probably thinking, it's easy for them to fly from London, but it's like, yeah, but 4 of the boys are from like Nottingham, so it's like, how do they get from Nottingham, booking flights at like 7 in the morning from London Gatwick, but not getting the boys from up north a hotel to stay in? So then they're leaving at like 2 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's just the little things that you probably don't think of, that now the Montserrat FA are starting to realise that we've got to do this for them, we've got to do that for them. And to be fair, you only learn from experience, I guess. So so it is getting better. So as long as we keep performing, it's going to keep improving. So
and that's it.
It's down to both parties.
Okay, so what about? I don't want to keep going back, but what about your debut? What was your the feelings playing on your debut? What was that? What was that like?
What was your debut? Gold Cup?
My debut
Gold Cup,
was
Caribbean
Cup. Yeah, Caribbean Cup. I actually went to the Caribbean Cup and I was injured. And I'd had a bad knee operation and I was half fit. And I didn't play the first game. But back then, the team was nothing like we had now. So I'm watching this game and the boys are getting slaughtered and I'm like, these boys are really bad. And I'm thinking I've got to come in and help these boys out. So the next game I said to myself, I'm not quite ready, but I'm going to give it a go. We got slapped by Martinique, whose team was majority of French-based players. And then my next game, we beat the British Virgin Islands and got the nation their first victory.
That was the first one, wasn't it? I remember.
Their first ever victory in a FIFA
congratulating
competition.
you, not knowing that I could be playing.
And I scored and I was buzzing, but I was also disappointed because I wasn't 100% fit.
Yeah.
And in that game,
you had that what if in your head. Yeah.
If I was fit, we would have won that game by more than 10 goals.
Not even that. The other 2 games.
Even the other 2 games. Even we can get into that afterwards, but I'll let you answer.
Yeah. So for me, obviously, like we've said, went to the training camp. World Cup qualifier. So we started in Barbados. Little training camp in Barbados. Training. I'm feeling good. Can't wait to get out there. So then it's come to game day in Curacao. A whole different experience playing with the running track outside. This is the stuff you see on European nights on the TV.
Stadium was packed though.
Stadium was
packed to the
out.
rafters.
You had 8,000, 9,000, probably even more.
And live on TV over there.
Playing against some good players, and obviously it's completely different when you're playing in the league or whatever. You know a few of the boys that you're playing against, and it's like, right, I know kind of how he plays, I know how to affect him. Complete unknown. You have no idea what even footed this player is. Obviously you try and watch a few clips of their old games, but it might not be the same players.
Yep.
So you're completely going in there fresh, no idea, but you're just happy to get out there. I'm buzzing.
That's it. My
first game, World Cup qualifier, I've got to perform. Can't come out here and not perform. I remember standing there in the national anthem and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Singing along. Wait, is it not finished yet? The longest national anthem ever.
God save the Queen.
2.5 minutes.
Whole track.
Played the whole track. CD didn't stop. And so finally he was like, it's over. Got out there and we was doing alright against a good team. I just remember going a goal down, setting Lyle Taylor up for his first goal on his debut, My first game, got an assist, and it was a great feeling. You know, it's a shame because I always feel that we should have got something from that game, whether it was a draw or even come away winning, because the game should have gone a different way. Maybe how it was officiated, and even just little things that happened in the game for ourselves that we feel we could have done better.
I think my favourite moment is
My last goal, mate.
is Woodsy's last goal. Yeah,
You was buzzing still.
Yeah.
I appreciate the way you was running up.
that was, do you know what? Before that, it was Swizzy's goal, but then Woodsy come with a bang. I followed through. It was mad.
Down the path of Bradley Woods. Bradley Woods with a strike towards goal, in off the post, and what a strike that is from Bradley Woods. And Montserrat, population just over 5,000, look on their way to a second Nations League qualifying campaign. Win on the
As for worst moment, not had a bad moment yet. No, the worst moment was conceding to El Salvador last minute. That was a horrible feeling.
Yeah, the mixture of emotions between that game and the other two games.
Yes.
Maybe not so much the Aruba game because Woodsy's goal was a great goal, but we was already one up. We'd already won one game, but obviously for quite a lot of the team, we'd come off the back of the Curacao defeat in the World Cup. So
that hurt a lot.
even though we played quite well, we got knocked out.
For me, it was definitely I think the loss to El Salvador hit me harder than the loss to Curacao.
No, so that's where I was going.
I actually was watching a clip of the game the other day, and I was so broken at the end of the game. And you was walking over to me to pick me up off the floor, and I was like, that can't happen again.
So that's what I mean. So from the Curacao game, I'm like, okay, cool. El Salvador game, we played so well, battled, and it was like, it's not a win, but it's going to be our first point as a team. It's a good one to get on the
against such a big nation as well.
Yeah, a big nation who was playing in a friendly against Brazil 5 days later. So we knew we was up against it, and we was doing so well. So that crushing moment when you saw that go in 2-1, it was just like, oh.
And the ref overplayed.
All you thought
by a minute and a half.
All that went through my head is not again.
Everything that could have went wrong in that moment
went wrong.
And then you've got the flip side of Swizzy's goal in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The final whistle going, and I was just like, yes.
Brandon calmly looking for Spencer. Now back to Clifton. There's a foul. Now in the shot! Goal!
Our first win. My first win playing with these boys.
Was that your first win?
That was my first win.
Yeah, first win, innit?
Man, the joy of it was. It was just the joy of knowing that yes, now we can push on, because now we've got to win against a team.
It was kind of like that omen's gone, you know.
Yeah, the weight had been lifted.
Like England and penalties.
Yeah.
It
was like when it felt like we're not allowed to win.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to. It's not meant to be. But then the goal went in, the final whistle went, and it was like, right,
that was it.
the train's rolling now.
Everyone on the island was buzzing for us that night, and the president of Montserrat, he was buzzing for us. And
wait, they try come in change room at half time when we was winning 1-0 against El Salvador.
You got some of the people from the island trying to come in.
So different.
They're trying to come into the changing room, and we're like, hold on.
He brought his wife. Started bringing his family. Introducing at half time. This is 1-0 up against El Salvador. And Job's not done yet. And you know, over there the setting's like carnival, so it's pure noise. They open a door, it's like
you're hearing music beating, everything.
But you know what's funny? The way everyone tried to let it go, because the door went once, so it went from kind of quiet
like
to
they
hearing the
poke
music,
their head in.
Then the door shut, and I think someone come in to maybe even use the toilet, a member of staff or something, and then
everyone's
you hear the door go again. And then I think everyone's head just
like,
we're trying to focus on this game. It's big business.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was mad.
That's what I'm saying. That goes back to my previous point about getting used to how things run, different cultures, organisation mistakes being learnt from. I don't think anyone will come in that changing room at half time again.
Yeah, no
No
chance.
chance.
Has anybody commented on the squad being predominantly English born? And also, but I will mix the other side of that, has that been part of why you've been able to create such a great rapport with each other? Because not necessarily because you're from North London, but I've realised there's a lot of guys from North London in the team in particular.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously you three,
Yeah.
Dean Mason, Ellis when he was in there.
Yeah,
Dean
Morgan.
We got Solly.
Brandon Comley,
yeah,
your brother.
Yeah, you got my
brother.
brother. We got Solly.
We got Solly.
So there's probably about
Shall I
6
tell
or
you the
7.
funniest thing about that is when all the Montserratians left Montserrat, they all come and settled more or less in the same place. So that's why geographically we're all next to each other, because like most Montserratians in England are based in Hackney, so which is part of North London as well. So it's not a coincidence that we all live next to. We all actually live next to each other as well, which is the funniest.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I knew each other previously to playing for Montserrat. So yeah, but when you say has anyone commented, do you mean like because we're not based over there?
No, because with Caribbean football, there's always this thing about English players coming into the team and and it's been a big thing for a long time, especially with the Jamaicans and the Antiguan teams quite English as well. So that's something that always comes up. So they've talked about the benefits and they've talked about the pros and cons of it. So that's why I mentioned.
I think at first it was, if we wasn't winning, it was like, why would you use the English boys?
Yeah.
We have players.
It's like they're just coming over for a holiday.
It's like we're just coming there for a jolly up, and it's like now I believe that everybody's fully taken on board.
I think they've
and
seen
appreciate
the difference. Yeah, they've seen
like
the passion that we're putting on the pitch
and,
as
you
well.
know, they're appreciative of the way that we're carrying ourselves and what we're doing for the country. So
another thing is that in Montserrat, there's not many people there that are our age. So in Montserrat, you typically have younger generation and then you have an older generation.
It's quite funny when we go. It's like skips our generation.
Exactly. Our generation is not present as much there because they either go to study or they move on to another island. Well, predominantly to go and study and then come back or whatever. So we, fortunately, we don't really have the same problems that Jamaica has, Antigua, where they have local players that are there and of a standard to enter these competitions. So like most of Montserratians, they migrated. Our parents, our grandparents, they migrated and come to England. So most of their players are based here. So it's just, I guess it's just one of them things. We didn't really suffer from. I didn't feel like we suffered from.
It's not like we've been out in Montserrat and then people have been throwing tarnish on us.
It doesn't feel like that. I say that though, but remember the man for the boat. So there was one person in Montserrat that was saying that
you're just here for the money and that.
Here for the money. And we're here for the money and we don't care about the country and I'm like,
if only you
knew. We don't get paid and like that. We don't get paid like that and we're not here for financial gain. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel that, but the guy, I think he had a little to drink. I think it was easy for him to just say something like that on the face of things. He weren't involved with what was going on, so we play with a lot of local players. When we go out there, we spend time with them. And their attitude ain't like that. You know
they look after us out there, man. They look after us. They take us around.
On the flip side of it, when you look at some of the countries that have done well, you've got, especially now, you've got like England, half of the team could play for someone else.
Yes.
Exactly.
France, you've got
loads of them
a lot of them, like the Algerian, you've got all the Algerian players, the Africans. So there's so many nations that do it, and it's not, people don't even butter an eyelid.
It doesn't make us
different.
So it's just, I guess it's unusual probably. It's fine like, oh yeah, he's not English but he's playing for England. But it's you kind of like, oh, you're English but you're born in England.
But I do feel like some of the other Caribbean islands, I feel like they sometimes maybe throw a little bit of shade on us because we've been winning, and they say, oh, they play the English way.
Oh yeah, but
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Like we play the English way, and we're winning.
Yeah. What was actually a beautiful moment was who did we play? Belize. When we played Belize, they had one boy that was
plays over here,
played in England, and he was like, after the game, a few of them said, "Oh, like, is there anywhere to go to just like relax?"
Yeah.
And we was like, "Yeah, come out with us. Just like come and chill with us. We're just gonna go down by the beach and chill out." So we was talking to them, and he was saying, yeah, a lot of the boys thought this was gonna be an easy game. They was like, oh yeah, like we've never heard of any of these. They play in like lower regions of the English leagues. And then he was saying to them like, no, this isn't going to be an easy game. Like I know a few of the boys. I know what the level they play at. They're actually decent.
Yeah.
And it was only till after the game they
respected us.
We put respect on you because how we went into the game and what we thought completely different.
Like the funniest thing is now, like with Montserrat, we're like one of the lowest ranked nations because we've been inactive, and there's a lot of other stuff to do with why you're lowly ranked, not just playing football, and a lot of the people now, across the Caribbean after these last few games, a lot of people are like, they're respecting us. Like we wanted a friendly against Curacao, for example. And their president said no chance.
No.
The only how we play you is if we meet in a competition.
Is a competition, yeah.
And like, so people don't want to play us no more. And like they're getting, before we played El Salvador, I remember their reporter was saying that they know that we all play in the Europe leagues over in England, and they expect us to be a certain way, which is what we gave them.
Yeah.
I think we're slowly demanding some respect.
Yeah, it's starting to demand respect, getting a little bit of the recognition we deserve. But the only way you're going to keep that is if you keep performing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can only demand what we produce.
Yeah, well,
and we've got to keep doing that. So.
Okay. Was Belize an evening game?
Yeah, all
evening. All the games we played.
We went down on the beach.
Yeah, we went to the beach.
We was on the beach.
Yeah, so straight after down to the beach.
Even the Belize boys was with us, and we just had a great night.
Wait, even the referees.
Even the referees. We went to about. Hold on, I forgot. Didn't we go to about 4 parties that night?
We went to a couple
others. We went to about 4 parties that night, and everywhere we went,
just being embraced.
Being embraced.
It was lovely.
There was nothing but love that night.
Yeah,
just
nothing. Everywhere.
Just drinking pure rum.
Yeah, so when I first started playing for Montserrat, I remember messaging my dad and saying like, I need granddad's passport or birth certificate just to prove where he was born. So that come across, and I remember like going over to my nan and granddad's house and talking to my granddad, and obviously he was just like, oh, like how's the island, little conversations, and just like seeing a smile on his face, and it's bringing back his memories of where he obviously was born, grew up a little bit and stuff like that. And it's a shame now that my granddad passed, but obviously my nan's so proud. But to do that with my brother, playing with my brother, it's amazing because the whole of my career, my brother's career so far, he's just getting started. He's only 23. We've both been playing and we're on the same schedule. I play Saturday, he plays Saturday. We don't get to see each other play. So the first time I actually had played with my brother since we was probably, apart from playing in the park and having a kick around, was at St. George's.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I remember training with my brother, and I was like, you can play football. And then obviously he didn't come and play against Curacao for whatever reason. He was at QPR. He was quite heavily involved at the time, so it was just difficult for him. But then he come out and he's played in the Nations League, and it's been amazing to touch the pitch in a competitive game with my brother. Like, I can't even describe it. It's
like I feel it. I feel it. Like, and it's so funny because it's like something might happen to James and his brother's over there. Something might happen to Bran and James is over there.
The maddest thing is they're so similar.
Yeah.
In how
so tenacious and
so similar. Like, it's like little and large, but they're both little.
Yeah.
But this one's large. You know what I mean? Yeah, like they're great. Yeah, it's good to see still.
I feel like my nan's proud. She's happy that I'm, representing the country, and even my granddad. They're both proud. They both love it. Even family members on my mum's side, everybody's embracing it. I'm getting messages from certain people that are not even family members, but are just from Montserrat, and like they just feel the need that they want to message and show some love. So it is affecting a lot of people, but also where I've known some of these boys for so many years,
it's like playing with
I feel
your
like
family
I'm
as
playing
well,
with
isn't
my
it?
family.
Literally, yeah.
Like I grew up with Combs. Like I've seen Combs when he was little.
Yeah,
and
Brandon knocking about, kicking in the park and that.
And like Solly, I've known Solly practically my whole life as well. Dean Mason, known him practically my whole life. So even when I get together with these group of people like Cliff, everyone, it's like they're my brothers anyway. So I'll go above and beyond for them.
It's such a tight knit group. It's crazy.
Yeah, and for me, like my granddad's still alive. Yeah, he buzzes off it. To be fair, trying to get him to come out to a game.
For you, it's funny though because you've got family over there.
He's quite old. He's just turned 90, so like traveling and all that's a bit mad for him. But I've got family over there now. I've got family house over there. They come and watch. Come watch the game, come and take me around.
You love it, innit?
Yeah, that gives you a whole different aspect. Because you go on little drives around the island and you see it completely.
He loves all that. He's the one that takes in all the nature. He wants to go everywhere on behalf of the island.
Yeah, on behalf of the island.
With his big camera that we still haven't got pictures of.
This guy brings the biggest camera every trip. Ask us if we've seen a picture.
Do you know,
and who takes the pictures?
I don't even have to use it properly.
We ain't seen pictures from 2014.
I got them. They're there. They're on the memory card. They're there.
He gets his camera out and gives it to me. Like, yeah, cool.
And what about Solly? I remember last time we went, when we was in Curacao, Solly had family in Curacao.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing.
Like, we're traveling in the Caribbean and you're just bumping into family and that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Like that was great for me.
Yeah, it was beautiful when I got a little fish soup.
That fish soup, the fried fish that they gave us. I ain't tasted fish that good in my life. I'm trying to go back to Curacao.
What was it?
It's good to be home, man. It's good
to be home, man.
What was it? It was like a restaurant hut that they had.
It was like a restaurant hut.
Right on the beach front.
Yeah.
Right on the beach, right on the beach. It was
by the hotel,
from our hotel.
Yeah. So it was Solly's auntie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Solly's auntie.
So Solly's auntie said to us, she goes like, why didn't you let us know? I would have put on the barbecue.
Yeah, like you could have all come to the house and everything. And I was like, what if you was cooking this fish?
Yeah.
Like when I went there with Solly, when I first went to meet his family there, she was like telling us to come. We have the game tomorrow. We must eat this soup because this soup is going to give us the power. And I was like, let me go for this soup.
That's the one thing about the Caribbean, the difference between, say, England and the Caribbean. Like over there, the love, like just bumping into an absolute stranger. Like over there in Montserrat, you can signal your arm out and someone will pull over and ask, where you going? And you jump in the car and they take you there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it's the love over there is different. They still leave their doors unlocked. So people leave the island and come to England and leave their yard open. So it's crazy.
I still don't think I'd do that.
People are doing that.
I might bang the last few questions together. What is your target with the Montserrat Football Team, and what's the advice you would give to someone if they get a call up and they're from England and they get a call up from a Caribbean country to play for their island origin?
In terms of short-term goals, obviously eyes on the prize. We've got a game coming up in 2 weeks' time, around 2 weeks' time. which is for us potentially a massive game. We're currently sitting about 3 places off being in qualification for the Gold Cup. So a good result for us in our next game, and I think we're the first to play out of the next round of games. So we can put ourselves in a position where we're sitting in qualification position for the Gold Cup, and we leave it down to the others to need to get a result so we can put the pressure on them. So that would be the short-term goal, is to qualify for the Gold Cup. So I guess I'll leave
Just
you
for
guys to
people
talk
that don't
about
know,
maybe.
the Gold Cup is like the Euros
Yeah, it's
on that side of the world.
Yeah.
So that's how big it is. And the teams that are already seeded are Mexico's, Panama,
United States.
Trinidad and Tobago,
And
and the United States.
United States, and where is it being
And
played?
it's
Because
being-
it's
being
Honduras.
played-
They've qualified.
Yeah,
already.
Honduras
as
as
well.
well, and it's being played in America in all the big stadiums over there.
What other country is it? Costa Rica?
No,
Costa Rica, yeah, Costa
yeah,
Rica.
and Costa Rica.
And Costa Rica.
possibly,
So
yeah.
because they're hosting it, they're already qualified as all
Yeah.
them 14.
Yeah.
What advice would I give to any England-based player that
Is
gets a call up,
eligible
that gets a call up
or gets a call up.
because it's happening at the moment. Even with like players from Montserrat, you got some boys that are, I don't know, I'd say towards the end of their career, so they're sort of like, I don't know, not got the energy to come over during your holiday off season to come over and whatnot. They got families or whatever. But what I would say to a lot of the young boys, because there's a lot of young boys that I feel we have players that we've got people playing for Arsenal, Man United, the young boys.
Yeah.
The Willocks.
The
Yeah,
Willets,
like the Willets,
Buffon.
The Buffons.
which his brother plays for us. They got to take a step. Obviously, it's just that's my opinion, because what a lot of people do is they hang on to the idea of playing for England. Like last time we came, we had Nathan Dyer, who was coming towards the end of his career in terms of at the top level.
Playing at the top level. Yeah.
Top level, and I think he was on fire that season, and he was just holding out for that one England.
Isn't
game.
that's roughly around the season when he was on loan
He
at
was on
Leicester and
fire,
they won the
he was on fire,
league?
He was on fire.
Yeah.
He won the league
He
with
won the
Leicester,
league
didn't
with
he?
Leicester.
He was
Was
on
he
loan.
on
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Oh wow.
And he won the league with
see?
Leicester.
And he thought he was gonna get an England call up, so he held out for that one England cap in the friendly.
Like Lloyd Dyer as well.
And then what happened is it didn't come, and then it passed by. And now the opportunity to, because this is different. Coming to play for Montserrat, like I said, there's no financial gain for us in the short term. There's nothing like that. But we are part of building something for the future, because the plans we've seen for the Caribbean football now is different, especially Montserrat, because we got a lot of players based in England that play at level.
Yeah.
So the potential of what can come of the English-based players playing for their island, we can take Caribbean football all the way.
Yeah, I guess for someone that's coming and they'll look at like maybe the ranking, previous results,
That's
especially
what it is.
before we started winning a few games. They'd look and they'd turn their nose up.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I don't want to go out and just be
Yeah.
playing for a team, a nation that's getting spanked.
Yeah,
I
And,
know that certain of
yeah.
the players that do play, obviously it's the whole hanging on to the England thing, but I think they, at one stage, they thought that it would tarnish their career
Yeah.
to put
Yeah, 'cause-
Montserrat on their CV,
Yeah.
because over here, like I said before, they don't respect Caribbean football,
Yeah.
and they don't respect Montserrat because of how low the ranking is, but they will respect it.
I guess
Yeah, so
I guess when you look at that,
Because-
it's a
yeah.
bit like in terms of going from playing in England. You know, like when they go to China, it's like, oh, you'll never come back. You'll never
Yeah.
play at a high level again
Yeah.
if you go
Yeah.
to China. I
Yeah,
guess that's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
relation
stigma
to
that it is.
the national side of it that you can relate it to, really.
And I forgive those that feel like that, because it's something they don't know about.
Yeah.
So ignorance will allow them to say things like that, which is cool. I get it. We've all been there, but it's our job to make these people believe and put Caribbean football and Montserrat in particular on the map and get that respect. And I feel like slowly it's happening. I've seen that transition in 3 games.
Yeah.
In 3 games,
And
I've
what,
seen a lot. I've seen a lot
what I will
change.
say is, I know you're saying you won't forgive them, so yeah, like when we
No,
make
no,
the
I
Gold
said I-
Cup,
I said
like
I
yeah,
forgive them.
yeah, you
Yeah.
forgive them, yeah. Well, all I will say is, yeah, when we make the Gold Cup, feel free to come and join the bandwagon. Yeah, jump on board.
That was so good.
When we make it there.
Edit that.
No, don't edit it. It's the realness of it, man. Like,
Nah, yeah, but
be real. Jump on the bandwagon when we make it.
all I can say is that
I ain't gonna hold no grudges. Come make us better. But
Edit that.
there's loads of examples probably of where a nation hasn't been doing too well. Maybe even if you look at like your Croatia of maybe 10 years ago.
yeah,
They've always been of a caliber.
Yeah.
But I mean,
They're not
as
where
a
they're
generation
here.
now, they
It's
hit their
time.
peak.
yeah, they hit it.
And they've got all their players that are around the
Like
20.
Belgium.
Look at Greece.
Yeah, 28
They what
to
they
30.
do.
Yeah.
That
Where
age group.
Where did
Greece
football
come from? Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Look at the Belgium squad now.
Exactly.
It's
Crazy.
got to start somewhere.
So it might not.
It
It
has to
might not
start
even
somewhere.
fall in
Yeah.
our career.
It might
It
not.
might not be our career.
It more than likely wouldn't.
Exactly. So it
Yeah.
might not be our career where it's like we're gonna see all the delights of it and see maybe us go and do well in a competition like the Gold Cup, but we're setting the platform.
Yeah. So if
for
you
the
are a young
19-year-olds, the
Montserrat,
18-year-olds now,
yes,
when they hit the age of 26s,
yeah,
and they're like,
come
And
and
we're
play for
talking
Montserrat.
like I said, we got ballers
Yeah.
at top clubs
We've got
at
ballers.
these ages. They are there. It's not something we think is there. It is. They are there.
It's there.
So I was having a word with the Vice President, Mr. Cassell, and when he came to London, and he was saying the discussion we was having was how do we get the problem we face as an FA is how do we get these English-born players that qualify to play for Montserrat through their family to make that changeover and not hang on to, oh, I'm going to play for England now. England is like playing for England, coming from England is like winning the lottery. There's only a handful of players that are going to play for England. How long do you hold on to that? Because we know playing for England has got a lot of financial
But
gain.
let's be
How long do you hold on to that?
let's be honest.
You get what I'm
Playing
saying?
in England alone, yeah, as an English-born player, your highest expectation if you're playing not in the Prem is to stay playing in the Championship because it's hard enough to get in the Prem, let alone get into the England team.
And if you're not in the Prem, you're not getting in the England team. And even if you're in the Prem, you're still not guaranteed to get into the England team. So it's like, how do we get these boys to buy into what we're doing as in the Caribbean football? And for like all the money that's being pumped in now with all the whole, the corruption that has gone past and whatnot, the money that's being pumped in now is crazy. So that the uprise, it's going to happen. It has to happen.
See, but you just got to be real with it. You got to show them what we are currently doing, the prospects. But see, that's where it's difficult. Where you speak to an individual, and that individual thinks, how much difference can I make come into play?
Yeah.
Because as good as I might be, not me, but speaking for a player that might be playing for a Premier team in the under 23s or whatever, how much difference can I make to a team that's not great?
Yeah, just like the what do you call it, boy? The one that played for Aruba.
Yeah,
He's playing in the top
Turkish league.
He played in the
Turkey.
top Turkish league, basically the Premier League in Turkey. And I remember he was frustrated after the game. I don't want to come back here. These players there is good. I said, yo, like sort of like grabbed him. Didn't physically grab him, but I'm like, yo, like think of what you're doing for your island. Think of what you're doing for your island. It's not about you.
Exactly.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? Just like us, it's not about us. Yeah, I get the great experience, and I'm more than thankful for that. But when you go Montserrat and you touch the soil and you're in the air and you're seeing the little youth man in their little trousers and shirt, because that's how everyone dresses out there more time, and you ask them, what sport you like? The one says cricket, the other one says, football. And now it's like the football is being spoken about more and more and more. And where I've got family there, they're telling me like the island's going mad. That like all the youths want to start playing football. When we play and we win games, what happens?
Carnival.
They're building a hotel.
Yeah, no.
They're building. They bought a football.
Yeah, we
pitch.
said about the complex.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't know. There's no better feeling than.
But see, that's
There's
all,
no better
that's all we
feeling.
can look at. You can, from our point of view, for our own benefit, for everyone else, the nation, But back home here, for the players that aren't currently representing, that could be representing, we just got to keep winning, doing our thing. But going back to individuals might look at it as like, what difference can I make? But if these individuals knew that there are maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals that are thinking the same way, that if they club together with what we've already got, where we can push it onto,
it could be ridiculous.
The team we could have, this is no disrespect to any current players, because this is including myself, the team we could have of the crop of players that I know that are qualified to play for Montserrat, let's forget about the ones that are the younger ones that potentially can still play for England. Let's forget about those. The ones that are playing League 1, League 2, Championship.
Right now.
The crop of players we have, the team we have, madness.
It's crazy.
It'll be crazy. It'll be a crazy team.
Is there anyone that's not played yet in that League 1 Championship that hasn't made up their mind at the moment?
We've got Furlong.
Furlong's made up his mind pretty much. So
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, well, he hasn't gone to England.
Yeah, but we've asked him countless times.
Yeah, but he hasn't gone, and he hasn't gone and played for England. So he's still someone that can potentially play.
Yeah.
And so you just players like that. There's him. There's who else is there?
Nathan Pond.
Yeah, see, Nathan Pond's playing. In the league.
Lloyd Dyer, Nathan Dyer.
We got a lot.
Donovan Daniels.
Yeah, there's a lot of players. Whether they're gonna make the decision to play for Montserrat remains to be seen. But would love to have them down.
Best trainer
in the camp.
Steve Mason.
No.
No, Steve Mason is the best trainer.
No.
Steve Mason is the best trainer. I'll give it to Dean.
Brendan Comley.
He pops it.
Do you go and comms?
I don't know, you know. I'm gonna say someone like. I think I'm gonna say someone like Swizz. Someone like Swizz. He never moans. He never,
Swizz never moans.
You don't really hear him moaning in
I don't.
training.
Well, he never used to moan until he scored his goal.
Yeah, but,
so Swizzy, yeah?
Yeah, someone like Swizzy, I think. Quickest better.
The fastest
Not
is.
myself.
Who is the fastest?
Over a flat sprint?
It's
Or
probably Craig. Probably
yeah, Barrett. Yeah, Craig. Like Craig. Craig's got some burners, you know.
He's probably the quickest.
Yeah, Craig's got the burners. Craig's Craig.
Probably my brother right there, to be fair.
Slowest.
Out of it comes.
Yeah.
Out of it comes, but I don't know. It depends if we're going forward or back, because downhill or uphill.
I haven't sprinted in about 7 years.
Hard man.
We got a few of those, man. We got two Comleys. We got Bradley Woods. This guy wants to fight everything: the ball, the line off, the fourth official,
White chalk.
the white chalk on the side. He wants to fight everything. Sometimes you have to calm it, because in the Caribbean, the
refs are
referees,
so
if
onto you.
try and chat back to the refs, it's not happening.
They're not having it.
Yeah? They're not having it. They talk to you like they're your pups. Yeah, that's how they will talk to you.
Try to badge you up on the pitch, you know.
And then this one, he want to fight the ref. And then, as you know, in football, you get on the ref's bad side.
Not literally fight the ref, but
verbally fight the ref.
And if we're going on terms of like hard man on the pitch, in terms of throwing yourself
clattering
about,
challenges and that, I'd go comms, big comms.
I just, in general, obviously, I'm not going to say
He puts his body on the line.
But in terms of putting our body on the line and stuff, the defence has done excellent so far. We kept 2 clean sheets in 3 games, so my centre back partners, yeah, we've been doing well.
Big up man like dudes, you get me?
Yeah.
Most skillful.
Oh,
Most skillful.
I'm gonna say Brandon, you know.
In terms of a little trick, throwing a little drop.
He likes
shoulder.
a little shoulder,
Brandon, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go Brandon. Brandon's nice with it.
To be fair, I'd say comms, but because he's playing centre half.
Yeah, he can't really express himself.
He doesn't really. Sometimes he tries to bring the ball down when he shouldn't, or try to chop when he shouldn't. But you get that's frustration. He's a midfielder, you get me. But Yeah, probably I'll say Brandon. Yeah. To be fair, we got skillful players. Like,
There's not. We
We're
haven't
not-
got
we're
players.
just-
you know, like a man that
Like
just
that
gone
starts
bang,
doing
man.
all step overs and all. Yeah, nah.
Alright. Hardest shot.
Come on.
It's got to be Joey Taylor, isn't it? No?
He's chewing. I'd say it's definitely up between like yourself and the Taylor brothers.
Lara's got a good shot on him, but I think I'll give it to Woods. He's got a hammer foot.
He's got a hammer.
He's got a hammer foot, yeah.
But
His foot is as big as his mouth.
That's a big competition.
Best and worst dress sense.
That's some bad.
Oh, the up north boys, all of them. Doobs, Swizzy, Messiah. The up north boys cannot dress. Woeful.
I've seen some bad haircuts.
Bad haircut.
The worst haircut I've seen is from Corin, is the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Corin, bad
He come
haircut.
out looking like a mushroom, man. A mushroom haircut.
Yeah.
No, but Swizzy never had a fade, man. Like, I know I ain't got no hair, but at least I look good with no hair, man.
Yeah, the hair bit's a bit.
Who's the worst dressed? Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
The up north boys.
The up north boys.
Most intelligent and the least intelligent.
Oh.
Most intelligent.
Let's should we start with the least intelligent because I know who that is, and that is Michael
Dubry. Doobs has not got a
Dudes,
cell in there, mate. He's clueless, that kid. Most
smartest. I know who likes to think they are, and
Yeah,
that would be Lyle Taylor,
yeah.
but he's not.
Do you know what
Most intelligent.
I'd say in terms of
I
most
think-
intelligent, what you define most intelligent
what
in
do you-
terms
yeah,
of
what
like
do
if
you
you're going
define?
like book smart, test smart.
It could be book smart or it could be street smart.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So in terms of that, what I'd say is there's a few different boys. I couldn't actually pin it on one because you got boys that are actually
Intelligent
doing
and
really well
different, yeah.
They've got different businesses going on, self-employed, doing well in companies, and then you've got other boys that just like use big words and they think, oh yeah.
Oh no, do you know what? It would have been. It didn't come to the last trip because of work commitments. It'd be Nick Taylor for me. Nick Taylor. Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Nicky. I'm gonna give it to Nick.
He'll hold that crown.
Yeah.
Comedian, biggest comedian.
Him,
Comedian. No, I'm not
this
a comedian,
guy,
bro. I'm
always
not a
got
comedian.
something to say.
No, I'm
do
not a
you know who I'd
comedian
give
though.
it to?
Who?
It's got to be Dubes.
Yeah,
Dubes gives
Dude's
everyone a
funny.
good laugh.
No,
Dude's
man.
funny.
No,
He's
no.
only getting me because I get onto him. I only get onto him, only him, because I know how to work him. I know how to stir that pot. But Dubes is Dubes is funny still.
Nah, he ain't funny. man.
What story time with Dubes? Are you having a laugh?
Listen,
No, Dubes is the
you know
best,
people
Dubes is the
who
best.
don't mean to be funny, but they'll tell a story and
And
it's
it
got
is
people in
hilarious.
stitches.
What about the story about the gaffer
Yeah, but the things that
come
you.
into his dressing room, into his room at the hotel, him and Swizzy's room, and just had a conversation with them about stuff. We want to talk about what it was about because it just
No,
sounds
don't-
wrong.
well-
And Dudes was telling us a story. It was all to do with yoga and stuff like this.
And they just didn't get it. They just didn't
We
get
was
it.
in stitches.
But yeah, go on. You disagree. So who you going for?
Alright. I'll just go with the group. Then.
No,
Right,
he wants it.
he wants to say Woodsy. He wants to say
He
Woodsy.
wants to say, "Oh, my God."
No, I'm not, no, I don't want to be the comedian. I'm not the comedian.
Who would say it's a comedian?
Yeah, go on, give it to
It's
dudes.
got to be Dave. It has to be.
Yeah, but you know, like me, my sense of humor sometimes, when somebody does something that's that stupid, I'm just like, are you really that stupid? So I don't know, maybe my sense of humor needs to be a bit more tickled. But he's a nice guy though.
I don't even know if I want to ask this one. Teacher's pet. Who
Oh yeah, there's a teacher's pet. There's definitely a teacher's pet.
There's a couple.
There's a couple.
There's a couple where teacher's
I'm trying to
pet.
think of
Doobs
a
is a
pet.
teacher's pet.
No, see, this is the thing.
What?
No, but
Don't
no,
you
hold
dare!
on, wait,
don't
wait.
you dare!
Hold on.
Please,
Wait,
don't
hold on.
do it.
I'm gonna defend you.
Don't do
I'm
it,
gonna defend
bro. Don't do it.
you. And the reason I'm gonna defend
Don't.
you is because
Sure.
Let him try it.
if you're in a class and a teacher confides in you, you didn't ask for it, he confides in you. It's not your fault.
I think it was the North Link that
Yeah,
started
yeah.
that.
So that's why I'm gonna defend him.
Bro,
And
no.
then we got other teachers' pets, that, you know, like, dudes, get away, you know what I mean?
I'm saying Skipper loves a bit of that.
Yeah,
Skipper loves a bit,
Lyle
Lyle
loves a bit of
really
teacher's
loves
pet.
it.
Trying to stand there and have these ones. Yeah, well, you know, he loves it.
Alright. Most likely to get cussed out by the coach at half time.
I don't think anyone is,
No.
to be fair.
Yeah.
The way.
No.
The gaffer's not like
It's
that.
very
It's not
team
like
based,
that. It's
yeah.
very team based.
Biggest hype man. What I mean by that is just person that hypes you up before the game or motivates you. Who's the biggest hype man?
The biggest hype man is Woodsy, without a doubt.
Bro,
He can't even have a
meaning to,
conversation
yeah.
without shouting. Do you get what I'm saying?
He hypes himself up when he thinks he's being quiet.
Yeah. Like, listen.
listen, stop
Him
all
put
of this.
Woodsy in
Man.
a room on his own. It's like, you know, when you shake the Coke bottle and you just open a little bit. It's always gonna end that
Yeah,
way.
or even throwing a bouncy ball into the empty room or something.
Yeah, Woodsy definitely the hype.
Hold
for
on a
sure.
minute, bro. Don't you come into my room all trip? We sit down and have some really good, intelligent conversations, and it's very relaxed.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No, you can be relaxed.
No, so
sometimes.
he
It's when your
he
battery
brings.
dies.
you chill out, man. You don't chill out.
He brings
You.
you a little shout already.
Chill out, man. This guy.
But in terms of that, I think every member of the group brings
Brings
it in a
something.
different
Yeah,
way.
we all get ourselves going, to be fair.
So like on game day when it comes, you've got a few of the boys that are like, right, come on, and then you've got the boys that would just are quiet, but they deliver on the pitch. So you know, Steven Gerrard didn't have to be shouting his mouth off, but behind closed doors, he'd grab someone and have a quiet conversation. But on the pitch, massive leader. So it
different.
differentiates between the group, I think.
Okay. Next
Using
question.
big words, yeah.
Had to get into.
Next question, I'm gonna make sure you have a think about this, or just say skip because we don't want to incriminate anyone. Biggest Gallus.
What's his name? What's his name? What's his name?
Skip.
Skip. Not skipper, just skip. We're skipping it.
Yeah, skip.
We gotta skip that. Let's skip.
Yeah. All right. Most likely to become a coach.
James.
Comes.
I'll take
Definitely.
that. You got a few boys involved in coaching already, but yeah, I'll take that myself.
Okay.
Oh wait, Swizz has been in the dugout, hasn't it? Recently.
Recently,
Yeah.
So Swizz as well. He's been
assistant manager. Lately.
assistant manager. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I know his cousin. That's with. Anyway, most in touch with their culture, in the Montserrat culture.
On behalf of the island, I'm gonna nominate myself in this one. What? I'm gonna nominate myself in that one.
No, to be fair, I'll give it to Cliff. He just loves everything about the island. He won't go everywhere.
Yeah,
he won't be all up in something. He won't
embrace it,
drive
yeah.
somewhere, chat to
yeah.
everybody. Like we're going on a 2-minute walk to the shop. My man make it an hour long because he
Yeah.
want to chat to everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, but you know, it's good to be home. As I said earlier, it's good to be home.
Come from home. Yeah, come on.
And the last one, very last, player you would most likely take to war with you, or players you most likely take to war players you most likely take to war with you, and never say die attitude.
I think that runs in the team at the moment. It definitely runs in the team.
runs in the team.
Like, yeah,
Maybe the ones that it didn't run through their veins before.
it definitely runs
It
through
runs
now.
through
Yeah,
yeah.
like they have to, like, cause there's so much of us that are like that. They have to step up and be like that. There's no option. You have no option but to, when we step on that pitch, it's all about getting that result. So it's war.
If you look at our games and if you could see some of the mileage that we've clocked
Oh,
up for each
God.
other, one person might. It happens in the game. You switch off.
Mhm.
You got your next man, your man next to you, just doing your run for you, and then it carries on throughout the team.
Yeah.
Last ditch
It's
tackles.
infectious.
The love.
Yeah, it's
The
crazy.
love in the group. for
We've
each
come
other.
we've come a long way.
Massively.
Yeah.
We've come a long. Trust me, we've come a long way from when we first. Most of this team, current team, met in 2015, right?
40.
14. So from there, and that was one trip, 2 trips. No, one trip.
It was
one
one
10-day
training
trip,
camp
one,
and one trip.
yeah, and one trip, one 10-day trip, and it's been a couple
And we had
since
a
then.
2.5 year break.
Yeah, we've come a. We kept the group. We had a group.
Yeah,
chat
we said,
then, and we kept it, and speaks for itself, innit?
I think that's a beautiful and good place to end. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Nice
you,
one,
bro.
nice one.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Repeating stuff that's been already gone over, like, and yeah, and you know, like, basically, you know, we kept the Montserrat group going shut there, like, man. What you talking about?